25 laundry tricks, and I will be honest with you straight off. There are 3 on this list I very nearly left off. Number 20 will sound like a foolish old wives' tale until you try it with your own 2 eyes. Number 11 is the one my own grandmother swore by, and it saves more water than all the rest of them put together. And number 1, well, number 1 is the trick the soap companies pray you never learn, for it is quietly costing you money this very week. We will get to all 3, I promise you, so do stay with me to the end. Now, I call these banned, and let me tell you plain why, for not a one of them will land you in any trouble with the law. I call them banned because the soap companies and the appliance makers would dearly love every one of them buried and forgotten, for each trick on this list is $1 taken back out of their pocket and put into yours. They have spent a great deal of money making sure your grandmother's wash day wisdom got forgotten in a single short generation. My name is Elsie Yoder. I am a plain Amish grandmother here in Lancaster County, and I have done the wash for better than 50 years, the old way, on the wringer and the line. Now I know full well that most of you have a machine and a dryer in the house, and that is just fine. So I am going to give you both, all the way down this list, the old way that I use, and the trick for your machine and your dryer too, so there is something here for every one of you. 25 of them, and laid end to end they add up to better than $600 saved in a single year. So let us count them down, and if you want the whole of how we keep a home for so much less than the English pay, it is all in the Amish Home Savings Guide over at elsieyoderamish.com, the link just below. You need none of it for what comes next. Number 25. Wash near every load in cold water. Old Mrs. Stoltzfus down our road told me once that the hot water tank is the greediest thing in an English house, and she had the right of it. Near 9 parts in 10 of what it costs to run a load of wash is nothing but the heating of the water. And here is what the soap makers will not tell you. Cold water washes near everything just as clean, for the modern soaps are built to work cold. Save the hot for the truly filthy work clothes and a sick bed's sheets, and wash all the rest cold. For those of you with a machine, just turn the dial to cold, and you have saved your first money before we are properly begun. Number 24. Use plain white vinegar in the rinse instead of fabric softener. A cup of vinegar costs pennies where the softener costs dear, and the softener is the worst of the 2 by far, for it leaves a waxy coat on your towels that ruins their drinking up of water and builds up in your machine besides. A half cup of plain vinegar in the rinse softens the cloth, takes out the last of the soap, holds your colors bright, and rinses away clean with no smell at all. Do not fear it will leave your wash smelling of vinegar. It does not. It leaves it smelling of nothing, which is what truly clean smells like. Number 23. Cut your detergent in half and top it off with a 1/4 cup of baking soda. You are using twice the soap you need, for the makers drew that line on the cap on purpose. Use half of what they tell you, add a 1/4 cup of plain baking soda to make up the cleaning power, and your wash comes out just as clean for half the cost of the soap. The soda also sweetens the load and softens the water so the soap works better. Your jug of detergent lasts twice as long, and that is money in the jar. Number 22. Dry your wash out on the line from April clear to October. Now this is my own way the whole year round, but for those of you who lean on a dryer, hear me. This is the single trick on the whole list that saves you the most. That dryer is one of the hungriest machines in your house, and the sun and the wind will do its work for nothing at all, and leave your sheets smelling of the outdoors in a way no machine ever could. Half the year, shut the dryer off entirely and string a line. Your power bill will thank you, and so will your linens. Number 21. Set your reds and your darks with a cold saltwater soak before their very first wash. My husband's mother, Verna, learned this as a young bride and passed it to me, and I have never lost a color since. A brand new red shirt or a pair of dark blue trousers will bleed their dye and go dull and gray the first few washes. So before that first wash, soak the new garment a half hour in cold water with a good half cup of plain salt stirred in. The salt sets the dye into the cloth so it holds fast, and your darks stay deep, and your reds stay true for years. Number 20. Brighten a basin of dingy white sheets with 5 plain aspirin tablets. Now, I told you this one would sound like an old wives' tale, and I do not blame you for doubting it. But here is the plain chemistry of it. An aspirin is salicylic acid, and that acid loosens the gray, soapy cast that builds up on whites over the years and washes it away. Crush 5 plain white aspirin, the cheap kind, dissolve them in a basin of hot water, and soak your dingy whites a few hours or overnight. They come out brighter than any bluing or bleach will get them, and gentler on the cloth besides. Try it the once. You will not believe your eyes. Number 19. Sun-bleach your yellowed pillowcases right on the line. The sun is the oldest bleach there is, and it costs you not 1 cent, and it does not eat holes in your cloth the way the chlorine jug does. Pin your yellowed whites out wet on the line between 11 in the morning and 3 in the afternoon, when the sun is highest, and let it draw the yellow right out of them. A few good sunny afternoons and your pillowcases are white as snow, disinfected too, for the sun kills what hides in the cloth. Number 18. For a sweat-stained collar or the yellow rings under the arms, soak it overnight in borax water. My Walt came in from the workyard with rings of yellow under both arms of every shirt, and no ordinary wash would touch it. A good handful of borax in a basin of warm water, the shirt left to soak in it the whole night through, and by morning the stain has let go. Borax is a plain mineral, a few dollars for a box that lasts a year, and it is the old answer to the stains that the spray-on sticks never quite get out. Number 17. Stretch 1 fill of wash water across 2 whole loads. On the old wringer washer, this was simple as anything, and it is the heart of how the old folks washed a whole family's clothes on a few buckets of water. You start with your cleanest load, the whites and the good shirts, in the fresh, soapy water. Then, instead of pouring that water out, you run your next dirtier load through the very same water, the everyday clothes, and only then let it go. 1 heating, 1 fill of soap, 2 loads done. For those of you with a machine, it is harder to do, but if you wash by hand or in a tub, this one alone cuts your water and your soap clean in half. Number 16. Keep a bar of Fell's naphtha for grease and for ring around the collar. That plain yellow bar has been wrapped in its paper since 1893, and it costs about $1, and it does what no fancy stain stick will. You wet the collar, you rub the dry bar right on the grease or the ring, you work it in with your thumb, and you wash as usual. It cuts the body oil and the grease the way nothing else does. 1 bar lasts a year of collars, and a year of collars is a year of shirts saved from the rag bin. Number 15. Make your own powdered detergent from 3 plain things. This recipe came down out of a county pamphlet from 1948, and it has washed for my family ever since. You grate 1 bar of that Fell's naphtha soap, and you mix it with 1 cup of borax and 1 cup of washing soda. That is the whole of it. A spoonful or 2 does a load, and the whole batch costs you a couple of dollars and washes for months and months. It is the single biggest saver of money on this entire list, for it does away with the detergent jug altogether, and that jug is the most of what an English family spends on the wash. Number 14. In the cold months, dry your wash on a wooden rack near the stove. The folding rack with the cross bracing stood in every laundry in this country once, and there is no better thing for a winter's day. The heat of the wood stove or your radiator dries the wash for free, and here is the gift of it. It puts moisture back into the dry winter air of your house, so your throat and your skin and your houseplants are all the better for it. For those of you with a dryer, set up a rack through the winter, and you save the dryer and humidify your home both at the once. Number 13. Use hydrogen peroxide instead of the chlorine bleach jug on your whites. That little brown bottle from the drugstore costs about $1.29, and it does the work of the whole gallon jug of bleach for a fraction of the price, and without the harsh fumes that take your breath and the strength that eats your cloth thin. A cup of it in with your whites brightens them and takes out the stains, and it breaks down to nothing but water and air, so it is gentle on you, on your cloth, and on the ground. Number 12. Trade your box of dryer sheets for 3 wool dryer balls. Now this one is for those of you who run a dryer, for I do not. But hear it. A box of those dryer sheets is gone in 2 months in a working household, and they coat your clothes and your dryer in the same waxy film as the softener does. 3 wool balls cost a few dollars the once and last for years. They soften the wash and cut the drying time by knocking the clothes about so the air gets through, and that shorter drying time is money saved every single load. Number 11. Save your rinse water for the next, dirtier load. Here it is, the one my grandmother swore by, the one that saves more water than all the rest. The old wringer Maytag had 2 tubs side by side, the wash tub and the rinse tub. The rinse water, you see, is near clean when you are done, only a little soapy, so you do not pour it down the drain. You save it, and it becomes the wash water for your next and dirtier load. 1 tub of fresh water can carry you through 3 and 4 loads this way, washing from the cleanest down to the filthiest. The old folks never once washed any other way, for water was dear and not to be thrown out half-used. Number 10. Wash your jeans inside out in cold water to make them last for years. The denim makers will surely not tell you this, though the trick is older than they are. Turn your jeans inside out before they go in and wash them cold, and the dye stays in the cloth instead of fading and rubbing off. And the rough of the wash works on the inside where it does not show, instead of wearing the knees and the seat thin. A good pair of work jeans will last you twice as long, and a pair of jeans is no small money now. Number 9. A shirt worn once is most often not dirty at all. Before you toss a button down or a casual blouse in the wash basket after a single wearing, give it a sniff and a look. If it is not soiled and not sweated through, hang it on the doorknob or the hook overnight to air and wear it a second time. Half of what fills the wash basket was never dirty to begin with, and every load you do not run is water and soap and wear on the cloth all saved. Number 8. For those of you with a dryer, clean the lint trap before every single load. And this one is not about money, it is about your house. A clogged lint trap is one of the most common causes of a house fire there is, and the dryer makers bury that warning in the back of the manual where no one looks. Clear it every time, and once a year run a brush down the vent pipe behind it. It saves your drying time, yes, but more than that, it may save your home and the lives in it. Do not skip this one. Number 7. If your towels come out smelling sour and musty, reset them with an overnight vinegar soak. This is the trouble of the dryer folks especially. The soap and the softener build up in the thick of a towel and trap the damp, and that is the sour smell, not true dirt. Soak the towels overnight in a tub of hot water with 2 cups of plain vinegar, then wash them as usual with no soap at all the first time. They come out drinking up water like new and smelling of nothing. Do it once or twice a year and your towels last twice as long. Number 6. Use a little mesh bag for your bras, your hosiery, and your lace. Those little zip-top mesh bags sell 3 for $5 at the dollar store, and they pay for themselves the very first wash. The delicate things are what wear out and tear the fastest. Snagged and twisted and stretched in with the heavy wash, zipped into their own little bag, they come through whole and last for years. A few dollars the once against the steady cost of replacing the things that tear. Number 5. Keep a stick of white tailor's chalk for a fresh grease spot. Every seamstress in America once kept a stick of it tucked in her pincushion, for it works in a way nothing else does. The moment a drop of grease lands on good cloth, before it has time to set, Rub plain white chalk right over it. The chalk drinks the grease up out of the fibers and holds it, and then it washes clean away and takes the grease with it. A stick of chalk costs near nothing and saves a good garment from ruin. Number 4. Hand wash your wool sweaters and your silk blouses with plain baby shampoo. The good sweaters and the silk are what folks pay dear to send to the cleaner, but you need not. That same tear-free baby shampoo that washes a newborn's head is gentle enough for wool and silk, for it is made to be kind to the most delicate thing there is. A teaspoon in a basin of cool water, a gentle press, never a wring, and lay it flat to dry. You have done the cleaner's work at home for pennies and saved the cloth besides. Number 3. For those of you with a machine, run it only when the drum is packed good and full. The makers want you running little loads, for that is more water, more power, more soap, more wear on the machine, all of it more money out of you and into them. A machine costs near the same to run full as it does half empty, so a half-empty load is half your money poured straight down the drain. Wait until you have a proper full load every time, and you cut the number of washes you run near in half over a year. Number 2. For a fresh ink stain, reach for the cornstarch before you reach for anything else. A pen lets go on a good shirt pocket, and most folks rub at it and drive it deeper. Do not. Sprinkle a good spoonful of plain cornstarch from the kitchen right on the wet ink and let it sit. The cornstarch drinks the ink up out of the cloth before it can set into a stain, and then you brush it off and wash as usual. It has saved many a good shirt that the rubbing would have ruined. And number 1, the trick the soap companies hope you never ever learn. Read the inside flap of your detergent box and find the true measurement. Here is the whole quiet swindle of it. The big scoop they give you and the line they show you on the cap is far more soap than any load needs, 2 and 3 times more. They draw it that way on purpose, so your box runs out the faster and you buy the sooner. But there, on the inside flap or the fine print on the back, is the real, smallest measure that actually cleans a load. It is a fraction of what the scoop holds. Use that true small amount, and not only does your box last 2 and 3 times as long, but your wash comes out cleaner, for too much soap leaves a residue that dulls and stiffens the cloth and never fully rinses. Less soap, cleaner clothes, and a box that lasts the season. That, of them all, is the one they would most like buried. So there you have it, 25 of them, every one tried and true. Wash cold, dry on the line, half your soap and a spoon of soda, make your own from 3 plain things, and read the flap on the box, and you will be astonished, when you add it all up at the year's end, to find it comes to better than $600 kept in your own pocket, where it belongs, instead of theirs. So now I would dearly like to hear from you. Tell me down in the comments which of the 25 you already knew, and which one you mean to try first, and tell me what county you live in, for I read every single one of them, and know there is nothing clever in any of this. It is only remembered. The women who kept these houses before us were not one bit wiser than you and I are. They simply could not afford to waste a drop of water or a spoon of soap, and so they could not afford to forget. Teach 2 or 3 of these to one young soul, setting up a first home, for that is how this knowing stays alive, not in any book, but from one pair of hands down to the next. Next time, the good Lord willing, I will give you the 5 and 20 grocery and pantry tricks we use to feed a family for half of what the English pay. Until then, mind the old ways, and God keep you all